Phase 2 of the Bucs offseason program continues for another week, and then it'll be the start of OTAs. But even then, it'll still be some time before we see some actual football. Thankfully, though, members of the Bucs defensive coaching staff already are starting to get an idea of where guys will line up and who could possibly start. So I know a lot of you have had questions about certain positions, primarily the defensive line, so hopefully I can answer some of those to you after talking to a few of these coaches. For starters, it looks like Ja'Quez Smith is the top pass rusher at this point in time. I know that he lined up primarily at that left defensive end position. It looks like they might try him at the right side here, though. He emerged as a starter last year, although facing teams' left tackles is a little bit different. They're going to see if he's up for the challenge there. And after him, George Johnson. Now, he was mainly a rotational guy with Detroit, but he managed to have a lot of success even though he was a situational pass rusher. They're going to increase his reps, possibly a little bit, but they're not going to let his snap count get too high. That was something that Leslie Frazier pointed out to me, so he could very well be part of a rotation, which that was something that both Frazier and Joe Cullen, the defensive line coach, emphasized. They really want to keep their guys fresh up front. That's one of the reasons they brought in Henry Melton, to be able to free up Gerald McCoy a little bit, to be able to free up Clinton McDonald just a little bit on the inside. And speaking of rotation, Will Golston, he is going to take the place of Daquan Bowers in what he did last year. They want to be able to have one guy that can back up both defensive end and an inside pass rusher, and that's something that Golston is capable of doing in nickel passing situations. So look out for him. Also expected to challenge for starting roles, TJ Fatinikin and Larry English. He was a guy last year that did have some success, a former first-round pick. We'll see how he's able to fare after having a full offseason with the Bucs. Now, moving on from defensive line, a lot of people have asked questions about safety, especially after Deshaun Goldson was traded to the Redskins. The team just picked up DJ Swearinger, and although Frazier praised him for his blitzing ability, he's not just an in-the-box player. That was something that he emphasized to us as well, is that he can also play deep. And considering that the Bucs like their safeties to be able to interchange, they like them to be able to play both strong and free safety, that's definitely going to be a plus, and he can challenge for a starting role. They expect him to do that. So that'll be one interesting battle to watch. Also, linebacker. A lot of you guys have been asking me about that on social media. Danny Lansana last year was able to start all three linebacker positions because of injury. But this year, they really want him to focus at that strong side position. It was really just the fact that they needed a guy who could step in there and back up all those positions because of injuries last year. But Hardy Nickerson, the linebackers coach, emphasized that that's something that's really difficult to do, and they really want him to focus at that strong side job. And so Bruce Carter is going to be the guy that, although no positions are going to be given, he's the guy that's expected to start at that Mike position. And then, of course, at the Will position, you've got Levante David. Stay tuned for more off-season coverage from One Buck Place. Even though the guys aren't officially doing football out on the field, I think they now have a ball out there, but they still can't put on helmets. We're still out here constantly at sportstalkflorida.com giving you all the latest. And before you know it, these guys are going to be out on the field actually playing soon. So definitely keep checking back the site for all of that. Reporting from One Buck Place with Sports Talk Florida, I'm Jenna Lane.